All right, it's Pledge Allegiance time. I pledge allegiance to the flag under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so again, welcome to the meeting. Well, let's do our normal get acquainted type stuff. Do we have any new licensees in the room tonight or on Zoom? Yes. Yes, I've got you a little later, but congratulations. That actually comes up to the new upgrades. Thank you so much, Vicki. Appreciate that. How about any new call signs? Are you going to get a new call sign or are you going to keep your existing one? Good for you. All right. Any new call signs in the room? We've already covered upgrades. Are there any other upgrades other than Vicki? All right. Well, good enough. We'll move on to the next slide. All right. Next, we've got a recap from our Smiles charity event support. Andy, I caught you with a mouthful, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Okay. Anybody that helped out with Smiles charity over that was Memorial Day weekend, raise your hand. All right. Look around, guys. Give them a hand. I am going to say with what we had there, it was the easiest time that I have had. Everybody handled their job, very little traffic on the radio, a little bit, but for the most part, it was just, funneling cars in, and then we got to go home about 8 o'clock, about the time the concert started. So if you have never volunteered for Smiles, you saw the hands around, ask them. This is a very, very rewarding and satisfying event to take place with. I know Kenneth is sitting over here shaking his head yes, because he has done it in the past. I think he was, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, they did the World War II era airplanes came through and did the missing man formation going across. Very neat. So anyway, mark your calendars for the 25th next year to help out with that. I think I put that in the newsletter, so you can find that and mark your calendars, and we'll get signed up and do it again next year.
Yeah, Andy, we really appreciate you coordinating this support. And for those, there's probably not too many of us that know that we have one other person that provides an awful lot of support for the Smiles organization, and that's Ron Ferris. He hasn't been here the last couple months. His health has been bothering him, but he actually sits on the committee that chooses the recipients for the Smiles charity. And Ron is really, really dedicated and energetic around that. So it's great that this club gives so much to that.
Thank you very much. On that subject Dave was talking about, Stanley Marcus of Neiman Marcus used to say, quality is remembered long after cost is forgotten. So that's why Neiman Marcus costs so damn much. But anyway, field day, it's almost like Christmas, isn't it? It's almost here. I'm excited, I just remember Mama saying, shut up, go to bed, or Santa Claus ain't coming, all right? Shut up, go to bed, and field day ain't happening. We're back at Irwin Park. They've done some upgrades up there. Mainly, they put a pile of dirt over here, and they painted the bathrooms baby blue. Other than that, it's about the same. We're back at the hilltop, so we got trees. And y'all remember last year, it was just hot. It was just hot. Now, I know we got a week and a half to go. It ain't as hot yet as it was last year. So knock on wood, maybe we'll be there. Yep. So, and Sid's not here tonight, but they did fill in the potholes where he got his flat tire. Yeah. The bad news is there's more potholes out there. Yeah, exactly. The big one that I always hit leaving as you exited, it's filled in. So my wife reminded me every time I drove through it that there's a pothole there right after I drove through it.
Just out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So back up there, bring a little warmth into the picture there. But that's us in full operation mode. And it's all about field day. From now on in, all you can think about, all I'm thinking about is field day, field day, field day. So it's all about field day. Well, what is field day? Well, field day has been going on since 1933. And unfortunately, that couple's not going to be there this year. In fact, they were running around in 1933, but they didn't make the next one or this one. But it is Amateur Radio's open house. Welcome to everybody. Come on in. Welcome members, radio operators, general public, folks that walk up and say, what are y'all doing here? It's what it's for. Operators from all over the world, literally, are operating all over the U.S., Canada, Mexico. They're operating, they estimate about 40,000 operators are on the air during that weekend. So worldwide, so that's a lot. We'll get out of the shack, set up, operate in the field in less than optimal conditions, which apparently is the MO for this club. Is when we get out of the shack and away from our home bases, we always operate in less than optimal conditions, like Bonham State Park when it was wet, or Irwin Park when it's hot. And it has rained on us before, and it has artificially rained in the middle of the night. Dave and Sid can attest to that when the sprinklers came on a few years ago. Yeah. 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 But that's the idea. But just think about it. Just think 10 years ago, 20 years ago, the equipment that we have today, which is so much easier to get out into the field than it was back then, with laptops, smaller transceivers, things like that. Could you imagine taking a desktop computer and a great big old CRT monitor out there, plugging it in? You know, we've done that, I'm sure, back in years ago. Yeah. Paper logging, yeah, and then somebody's got to enter that later on. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, and think back just a few years before that, the big transceivers or receivers and transmitters with the tubes and things like that, and the power requirements and getting out in the field and doing that. And this has been going on since 1933, through some pretty adverse times. Missed a few years there near World War II, but in the 50s, we've got it made compared to a lot of those folks that did it before, but it's still a lot of fun. And I bet they had a lot of fun too. We're going to welcome visitors to our hobby. That's why we have it in a public location, so folks can come by, and we're going to do a little advertising on that. So that's a good deal. Oh, what am I doing wrong here? All right. Going to work together, get those towers up. That's a little bit of sweaty work, get everything set up, getting to know our fellow club members. It's a great time for some fellowship and learning about each other, a little bit, spending some time. There we go. And teamwork makes the dream work, don't it? Yeah. Look at all those folks now. Okay. You got 3 people on all 3 ropes pulling. You've got 3 or 4 pulling up. It takes a few people to get those things up. You got the safety officer. You got Dave, who will be managing us, getting things up. Yep. And notice the high-vis, the vest, which was a great addition last year. We're going to recommend that again this year. The blue T-shirts kind of stuck out too, but let's look at how many people that it takes, and that's why we need a lot of people for setup. We need a lot of people for takedown, because one, it's safer that way. The more people we have, we get those things down, because those tires weigh a little bit. They weigh a little bit, and gravity is a very cruel mistress. She'll get you. So notice all the cars. With every car, there's a volunteer. Plus, there's work going on in the pavilion. But that's last year at the Outback Pavilion. And again, there's no shade around that pavilion, and the hilltops got a little more shade. I think it's going to be a location for us, the drone. Yep. What's that? Dave's working on the plan for that, so we're going to try to figure it. It'll be on one of the 3 towers. Yeah. So. Yeah. 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 So, but we got a plan. So putting them together, a little work there. We're going to ask for some volunteers to bring some equipment. It helps us get that up. But again, the more folks, the better, and the easier it takes, or easier it gets. Exactly. Both ways. What is field day? A chance to enjoy a meal or two with fellow amateur operators. What is it about us folks that we like to get together and eat? Plus, once we're in a restaurant tonight. Plus, once we've accomplished something like setting up towers, it's a great time to do that. Lance will be our chef. Kerry will be assisting him. Thanks both of y'all for volunteering for that, keeping us happy there, and it'll be a good time. A little bit of eating going on there. A little candid shots. He can he? Which one you pointing at? Oh, never mind. Chance to gain a little experience or knowledge. We had Bob sharing some knowledge with us a couple of years ago. We're going to have a couple of chances to gain some knowledge during this one, plus the experience of getting on the air and getting on the radio. If you haven't been on the air, we're going to get you on there. I'm going to put you in a seat and get you on there and get you talking, get you on FT8, whatever. We're going to get you on the air, get you logging. Logging is a great way to get introduced to this and listening and all that and getting it going. Brand and his satellite contacts, he's going to repeat that this year. So that'll be a good time, depending on when the satellite passes are. That usually comes into focus a few days before, right, Brand? Good. Get on the air. That is the clue. Those folks either smiling and working, concentrating, but it's all good. Roy, last year, I think it was Kenneth sitting there. I asked if it was okay if Catherine sat down and operated a little bit. Catherine is was our youth coordinator for the North Texas area, and Roy had no idea who she was, and he thought it was just some young lady that was going to sit down and operate. And then she started operating. He's like, "Oh, she really does know what she's doing." So he was a little surprised there. He's like, "You need to." Oh, I got this. And our young operators, always welcome. That boy's grown a little bit, hasn't he, Lewis? And then the other one's grown a little bit too, I bet. Yeah. So,
You got players be there?
huh?
All right, they'll both be there.
Both double them up. Let's get them out there. That'd be great. Field day is not a contest. I'm only going to say that once. Yes, we do keep score. Yes, we want to make a lot of contacts. Yeah. But it's officially not a contest. It's an operating event. So, but we do keep score. We will log. We will go for bonus points. It's just a way of measuring this year against last year, and we'll have a lot of fun. Field day is what you make it. Field day, a gathering. You want to come out and just talk and have a good time. Great. You want to come out and operate. And just really hit it, operate, and you want to learn something. It's what you make it. It's what we make it. We're kind of rolling a lot together in this club to make it what you want it to be. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. And you might want to take a drink of water or two here now. Right, Andy? Yeah. It will be hot. These couple of days here have been good. It's still hot. We're still going to hydrate. We'll have lots of water, Gatorade, things like that. Watch the caffeine intake. I know I'll be drinking coffee that morning, the next morning, but supplement that with water. Keep going. We're closer to the potties this year, so don't worry about that. It'll all be good. Stay hydrated. Keep an eye on each other. If you see somebody fading, see somebody doesn't look good, let them know, let somebody else know, because a lot of times, we're big, tough guys and gals. I'm okay. Boom, I'm out. Yeah, no. So let's keep an eye on each other. What are our goals for this year? We're going to increase member participation. We had 20 operators that I know of that put their call signs or initials in the logging software. 20 that operated this year. We exactly had 20 last year or the year before. And so 23 and 22 were both 20 operators. One thing we had is 64 participants. So we had more people come out and sign in this year or last year than we did the year before. We had about 57 the year before. Had one youth operator, Ezra. There he is. So we need a few more youths to get out there, but we're going to get, and Ezra is licensed this year. So instead of operating under the guidance of somebody else, he'll be operating as an official ham radio operator. Want to increase our QSO count? Yes, I know it's not a contest, but it is. To me, it is. And it says 22, but that's actually 23's number. 817 total QSOs. Just a few lower than the year before. We had a few more digital last year and a few less phone, and we still goose egged on CW. I don't think that's going to happen this year because Whistling Guy and our treasurer, and I've got a promise from somebody else that there's going to be some CW action out there. So I'm looking forward to that. Make it happen. Make it happen. Get them dits and dahs a flowing out there. It'll be great. We're going to put up 3 antenna towers like we talked about. We're going to install the new 40-meter dipole. Dave's had some issues, but he's going to be working on that, getting it going for us. Tom will be out there getting us going, getting us straight, making sure we're doing everything right, and getting them up. Last year, we operated on 40 meters, 20 meters, 15, and 6. And we're still not sure on which antennas we'll have up this year. 6 has been weird. It was dead. And in the last few days, I've noticed 6 has been opening up again. 20 meters has been a challenge but nobody's, at least on the Parks on the Air and what I've been dialing around, everybody's on 20, even though the conditions are terrible. And 15, the conditions are great, but nobody's there. So I don't get it. But I've had a couple of good DXs on 15 the last couple of times I've been out, and 20's been tough, but we'll see. We're going to add a couple of educational classes. Brand's going to talk about satellite contacts, like we mentioned, and when the contacts, when the satellite flyovers are. And Tim Vallis has volunteered. Does I say your last name right? Yeah. Vallis, thank you. Damn it. I got to go home and fix it now. I'll be right back. Okay. Anyway, Tim, KK5 Tim, is going to do a class on in-fed antennas and toroids. You want to mention just a real quick?
Basically, we'll go over winding a toroid. I've got a handful of additional toroids. So if you don't have one, you want to start off, I'll sell you what I got at cost. I've got about enough for, I think, 4. And we'll show you how to wind them. I've got 16 gauge magnet wire because it's difficult to buy in short lengths that you'll need for what we're doing. Basically, you need about 70 inches of that, which costs about $1. If you want a particular enclosure, take a look around or shoot me a message on Discord. It's probably the easiest way to reach me, but happy to show you some ideas on what's available. But you don't have to do that. You can just wind the toroid and hook up your input to from an SO239 and fit half wave with an alligator clip, and you can be off and running. The first one I did took me about an hour to wind it, and I was out testing it 5 minutes. It's fairly simple.
Good deal. Hey, Tim, can you put your recommendation for what toroid? Can you put that on Discord?
It's there.
Is it there? Okay.
Yes.
And I'll send that out again on the email platform. So we'll get that out tonight. So if you need to buy one or get one ordered from Amazon or wherever.
You'll have to get them from Mouser.
Mouser, okay.
Down in Mansfield.
Okay.
Get it overnight.
Okay,
They're about $12.
cool.
No, yeah,
Somewhere around there. Okay,
it's about $8 and $6 or $8 in shipping.
okay. And quick shipping out here. So good deal. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Our next goal is to increase battery and solar powered operations. We really increased. Last year we had 142, had a 15 amp hour battery hooked up to a solar panel that lasted from 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 15-meter station till about 2 o'clock in the morning, which I could not believe how long that battery lasted. And then Lewis brought his big hog out there. Was it 50 amp hour or 100 amp hour? Oh, that thing weighed a ton, and it didn't even breathe hard. It just kept going. So, but 2022, we had 57, I think it was, battery contacts, 142 last year. So we did a lot better last year. We want to stay safe. Roy will be our safety officer. Roy's a retired fireman, so he's a good safety guy. Dave is the manager, I guess it would be, of getting the towers up. He's the supervisor of that. So please, if Roy or Dave says, stop doing what you're doing, please listen. They're doing it for our safety. Help them out by following instructions, doing things safe. It's not a deal where you go, I know better, I'm going to do it this way. Please listen to instructions and listen. If you see something that looks like it's dangerous and they don't catch it, please yell out, stop, 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 until we get that. We'd rather have something broke than somebody getting hurt. And so far we had one minor injury last year, and it wasn't anything related with the antennas. It was something else. And I don't think we had any before. So, yeah. And Sid's flat tire. Yeah. That was a bad one too, but yeah, please listen to our safety officers and help them out by being an assistant safety officer in addition to that, and watch each other. Again, if it's going to be as hot as it was, and it will be, we got to watch each other to stay hydrated and stay conscious. I even felt myself fading it a little bit last year and had to go sit down for a while and just cool off. So.
Say a couple more things on that. But from a safety perspective, one of the things that are some of the things you need to be thinking about. If you can, bring sunglasses. It's going to be bright. You're going to be looking up at the sky more than you would think, and it hurts your eyes. Those that are going to be helping with the towers, if you have them, bring hard hats. I want to say it's an absolute requirement. We've never had an issue where a hard hat actually helped us, but they sure as heck have not hurt us. Mike also mentioned, the safety vests. If you do have some high visibility safety vests, bring those along as well, because let's face it, there's going to be ropes, there's going to be heavy stuff, we're going to be lifting things, we're going to be toting things. Be good just to be able to see where each other are while we're doing setup. Once setup is done, you can take all those vests off and hard hats off and go have a ball. But while we're setting up, there's going to be a lot of things moving around that may not be readily obvious, because we aren't normally around things like antennas and antenna tower raisings, pounding in of guy posts, or the running of guy wires, or the knotting of them. All of this stuff, it's all very different for us. It's not something you do every day. So just please do, pay attention. That's all I can say.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Gloves. Yes. Yep. We're getting there. Don't get ahead of me. We're getting there. Hydrate, and have fun. Come on, let's have fun. It's a great weekend to have fun. And the best part of it is Monday, Tuesday, when you're recovering, go, man, that was fun. When can I do that again? When can I do that again? Well, we're going to have something on that here in a little bit too. I thought you said that last year, Dave. All right, what's the schedule? From about 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to start getting set up till about 1. 1 o'clock is when on-air operations begin. So we've got setup time from 8. Some clubs go out the day before, but we'll have everything set up by then. Chef Lance and Carrie will be serving us a good lunch when setup is complete. They're not going to serve you before setup is complete. Okay. Don't be going in there begging. All right. 1 o'clock, we get on the air. 2 o'clock, VE testing. Dave and his VE crew will be out there. I'm not going to have any air conditioning for them this year like they asked for last year, but I'm sorry, but $15 cash. Alan, I'm still correct on that, right? It's $15 cash. Good deal. Good deal. And then Brand will be in, again, satellite passes depend on when they occur. 3 o'clock or after when all VE testing is done. We don't want to interrupt that. That's when Tim will do his class, start with his class. About 5:30, Lance and Kerry will be feeding us again. And remember, all during this time, we will have water, Gatorade, refreshments available. Saturday to Sunday night. So after dinner, that's when we get down to the nitty gritty of operating all night long, all night Saturday into Sunday morning. That was a couple of years ago. That's about midnight, taking a breather at the courthouse. Yep. That's right. Yeah. That's before the sprinklers hit. Yep. And that was last year. About dawn when sun's coming up. Still some operating going on. That's some of the best contacts, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And that's when we're hoping that 40-meter dipole is really going to shine. It's really going to get us there. Brand, you were on 20 meters late into the night. 20 stayed pretty open last year, didn't it? Yeah. 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 So hopefully that'll happen again. 20 meters on FT8 was all night long. That stayed pretty open. FT8 gets through when a lot of stuff don't. 7 a.m. we'll be eating breakfast. Operations will continue until club leadership agrees that it's time for teardown. If bands are great, we're making contacts. Everybody agrees that it's good to keep working. We're going to keep working when it's getting hot, when all the contacts we're making are dupes, which occurs a lot on field day because everybody's been operating. It may be time to tear down. So somewhere in there in that morning, 10, 11, 12, it will be the agreement on the things. And we should be finished around 1 o'clock on Sunday before it gets too crazy hot. So field day operations. Again, we'll start at 1 p.m. Saturday. That's when everybody starts. So it'll go from the bands will be dead to the bands will be full in a hurry. We will operate as a 3 alpha station, 3A station. That means we will have 3 transmitters capable of transmitting simultaneously. And alpha means we're a club station. Obviously, we're a club. For the transmitters, we cannot operate on the same frequency or the same band and the same mode at the same time. So, for example, we cannot have two transmitters on 20 meters doing sideband operation at the same time. But you can have 2 transmitters on 20 meters, one doing CW, one doing sideband, and you could have a third doing FT8. 3 different modes is fine if you're on the same frequency. Or we'll have the availability or the ability to be on different bands and different modes at the same time. But to keep the 3A, we have to have the 3 transmitters available to operate simultaneously. I think, we'll have the 2 club transmitters and the FTA transmitter. If the CW operator needs to use their transmitter with their key, we can pull one of the club transmitters offline, put yours in. As long as we've got 3 up there, we're in compliance with the rules. The 2 CW or phone stations will be using the tower antennas. The digital station, we're going to have a different set of antennas for it. We may, depend on the bands and the conditions there, may be able to patch one of the tower antennas into it into the digital station if needed. But mainly in the last few years that I've been involved, the digital station's kind of operated on its own. And we're going to try to separate them out a little bit on different side of the pavilion this year to maybe get some separation because there was a little interference last year. Hopefully it won't happen. Okay, when you're calling CQ, that's the best way to get a lot of contacts is to get on the air, call CQ, own a frequency, and be the one that everybody wants to contact. Brand's good at this. Several of y'all are really good at this. And it's a great way to get a lot of contacts. You call CQ on CW, CQ, FD, call sign, which is the club call sign, W5MRC. Okay. You wait for somebody to respond with their club's call sign. They will generally give you their designation. 1D, which means they're operating at home. 3E, which means they're operating 3 transmitters and an EOC. We're going to go over all the different club types on Saturday. If anybody wants to come out to that, we'll talk about that. But that's how you do it on CQ. On phone, it's CQ Field Day, Whiskey 5, Mike, Romeo, Charlie, CQ Field Day and standing by. Another club number operator gives you their call sign back. You log them, log their deal, and reply to them that you're 3A and our section is North Texas. Texas is divided up into 3 sections, north, south, and west. The United States is divided up into a whole bunch of sections. In fact, if you bought a t-shirt or if you want to look at the back of mine, there's all the sections. There you go. We'll print that out too. But last year we got every section except Hawaii in the United States. So we did really good on that. We got most sections in Canada. A couple of provinces we didn't get, but several states are broken up like Texas is. Texas has 3, California's got a bunch, the Northeast has a bunch, but each one will have that. The logging software has the 2 or 3 digit code on there, and they'll be repeating it on the air. So it's real easy to log. Logging's a breeze. Call sign, station class, section. You don't have to worry about 5-9. You got a good report. You know, how's your mama, all that other stuff. It is real quick, just a real quick contact. Digital modes in WSJTX. The software has a field day mode. So it's a real quick contact. And we were able to last year. I'll have to work the bugs out of it a little bit this year, but it will log automatically into the N3FJP software through a WSJTX. So that'll work out real good. I keep messing it up. So calling CW is one way, or searching and pouncing, and that's where you're looking for somebody calling CW, calling CQ Field Day, search and pounce or hunt and pounce. So you're going up and down the dial looking for somebody you haven't contacted yet. They call out CQ with their call sign. You answer with our call sign, do the exchange, log it, move on. You don't get as many contacts that way. It's a little slower, but it's a good way to work into it. Get your feet on the ground. And then, especially if you can't find an open frequency, an open slot, sometimes that's a little hard. Sometimes you just have to butt in. It's just the way it is on field day because the bands are going to be crowded. That's the same. You can search and pounce on CW, phone, and digital. Either way, digital you can call CQ, or you can search and pounce. Logging is the way that I got into operating in my first field day. Logging for that guy right there, Larry. He sat me down and said, "Boy, start logging. Just write down what I tell you to." And you get your ears going, you get your fingers going, you get the things going, and you start listening to the rhythm of the contacts. Every contest, every operator has a rhythm. And once you get that rhythm down, you can jump in there and start calling CQ and keep that rhythm going. And it's a great way to introduce yourself from, I've never been on HF, I've logged HF. Now I've got a pileup going on and this is just fun. So that's just good stuff. So please get up there. If you've never got on before, sit down with somebody and log. If it's been a while, sit down with somebody and log. If you're an expert, sit down with somebody and log. It'll just get you loosened up, ready to go. It's all good. Oh yeah, take a drink of water, okay? Hydrate. Watch each other. Something else is going to happen this year. It's going to be at least one fox out there somewhere. A little fox hunting action going on. Yeah, Joe will find it in about 5 minutes, won't he? Yeah. And you won't have to drive all over McKinney, just a small. We may have to make it just on your feet only, right? In there, but that'll be up to Robert. What to bring? We talked about it. Hat, sunscreen, bug spray. Has anybody got some sulfur? The sulfur powder they can bring. Tim's got some. That'd be great. Yeah. God bless him. Mike Blue kept us in sulfur powder. So we'll miss him in more ways. And that's certainly one way. Bring some gloves. Bring some work gloves. Bring that high vis vest, a hard hat if you have it. for setup and takedown. Please don't wear sandals. Please don't wear sandals. Wear some good shoes, at least tennis shoes, if not some hiking boots or something like that. The ground, you could tell where it's been wet and dried on one side of the pavilion. On the side, I guess it'd be the north side, looks like where deliveries are made. So the mud's kind of all just tires, tracks and stuff like that. So it's a little, there's some step hazards there to watch out for. Bring a good, comfortable chair. There are picnic tables under the pavilion. We will use those as picnic tables or for testing when that occurs or the class. We'll use folding tables for the stations and the chairs. Trust me, it's a lot more comfortable. If you were at Bonham and tried and saw me out trying to operate at that one picnic table in Bonham, that every time I moved, I thought the picnic table was going to tump over. Yeah, that these picnic tables seem to be a little better, but that metal gets pretty hard on the posterior after a while. So please bring something comfortable. If you have extra folding tables, we could always use them. Please, that'll help us get our operating positions up and give us a little more room. The ones that we're going to be using the HF kits on, those kits take up a lot of room, so we still need a place for the laptop and logging, paper and things like that. And we will have paper at each station so you can make notes if you need to. But if you got some folding tables, that would be great. I'd rather have too many than not enough. Step ladders, 6 foot, 8 foot step ladders would be great to help us in building the antennas. We use those to set the towers up on, get them built, get them up off the ground so we get them all bolted together and all that stuff. So please bring that. There's something else I was thinking last night. I think I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and thought, man, I need them to tell them to bring this. And it's gone. So watch Discord, watch the email. You might get an email or two from me between now and field day. Okay. You might have gotten a couple in the last couple of days. Power strips. Yep. Power strips would be good. That always helps. If you bring something, please label it with your call sign, your name, Pookie, something like that. So we know it's yours. So we get it back to you. I do. In fact, I've got an umbrella. I've got a little black umbrella from Bonham. If anybody's missing an umbrella, it was pretty wet when I picked it up, but so was I. So yeah. So anything you think we need, we appreciate. And if anything else comes up, we'll be putting it out. Signs. Larry has a suggestion for some signs. You want to come up and tell them about that suggestion, Larry? Get on up here. Don't be scared.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, got an idea. I don't know how it's going to work, but maybe you can help me out. The idea is about bringing in fresh blood, new visitors, getting people interested in our hobby and sport, and attending the field day. So how do you do that? Well, advertise for one thing. Lewis has done a very good job of updating the website and also posting a bulletin on the City of McKinney Parks and Recreation webpage, advertising our field day. And I thought they were magnificent and very good job. Now he also come up with a poster, so to speak, with a big old QR code. So if you're running around, you could whip out your phone and hit this QR code and be directed directly to our website and get the information you need to make the field day. Okay. Where are you going to put that? I don't know. I had an idea. So I wrote Mr. Amazon and he sent me 10 signs. And we had an election and he had these election signs all over everywhere. And I figured, well, I could go along after the day after the election and steal them all and repaint them. But I think there's a law against that. So I went ahead and bought these with my own coins. And I got 10 signs here. And what I'm thinking is we could sell these signs, let's say $5 a piece. You get a sign, you decorate it, and then you post it on the way going out to the field day or before. for instance, it could have that on there. And it's got the little Hootis legs on it. And they look pretty sturdy. Matter of fact, they look pretty doggone sturdy. Look at that. They got, no, never mind. That's the same old junk. Yes, sir.
Sign, storefront sign, places that have inkjet printers and whatnot.
Yeah,
Blow it up.
I tried a couple of those, and it's kind of like you go down a rabbit hole and they want you to come in and pull your billfold out, maybe a couple of times. And then I saw some online that you could just go ahead and upload your graphics and boom, you got you some signs. But it is a little on the pricey side. And I'm kind of cheap. I'm sorry.
Boy, they can do the cut vinyl. We might see.
He's got a crooked.
We might.
Cricket?
See what it would cost to have cut vinyl made. Is that what?
Correct. Yeah, I know. Now, I'm sorry. This idea has been brewing, and I've been trying to come up with something and make a congealed situation to throw down on the table, but I've been busy. I'm sorry. But what I'm thinking is I want other people to take ownership. And so let's say you pitch in $5, give me $5 and take a sign and do your thing, whatever it is, and post it. And then, hey, you might be able to pull it up after it's over with and use it next year. I don't know. But this year, you give me $5. We're going to put the $5 in the hat. We're going to give you a raffle ticket. Okay. And if I can sell 10, that's $50. I'm thinking we can buy a real decent, I don't know, a do-it-yourself kit and get people interested in kit building. And that might be a future topic on down the road. So that's kind of where I'm heading to. So anyway, the idea is to drive visitors to our site and bring in old friends, make new friends. And if we ever get some visitors, if we do pull some visitors in, we need to welcome them and greet them and pull them in and keep them. We want our money. We want their money, right? Right, boss?
Not necessarily.
Get their dues in here. Anyway, yeah, greet and welcome guests and work that thing. That's it. That's all I got. So whatever you think, you vote with your pocketbook. If you don't want them, I'll take them home and I don't know, send them back to Amazon. Thank you. That's all I got.
All right, thanks, Larry. I think it's a great idea. See Larry after the meeting and get this sign going on, bring more people in. Again, bring the dues in, but bring the people in too. That'd be a great thing. People always get out to Irwin Park and go, I can't find it. Well, it's a big circle, so you'll find it sooner or later, but those would help too. Those would really help. Any quick, all right. Larry, you jogged my memory on one thing. We will have a visitors table coming in. We probably need somebody to sit at the visitors table. So I know Jerry did a great job last year, but she's not going to be there till Sunday. So, okay. So I think I'm going to add to the sign up genius some times for the visitors table, if you could do that, or if you see that it's empty, it'll be over by the baby blue building and we'll have some signs welcoming people in. But it's always a good deal for somebody, folks are going to pull up and they're going to be a little nervous. What is this ham radio deal? It's always a great thing to say, hey, how are you? Come on in. This is our group. Welcome them in and give them the friendly welcome instead of walk up and there's a whole bunch of people talking on the radio and nobody said hi to me. We don't want that. Group hug is fine. Some people may not like that. So you might want to wait a little bit, Larry. You may want to get like their first name or something. Okay. All right. Okay, Saturday coming up. I know it's short notice. We're going to have our field day simulation exercise after breakfast, so about 9:30. Everybody have a full belly. We're going to go over to Irwin Park. With the new construction, it's really easy to get to now. Me and Dave just drove from there last Saturday, but we're going to go to Irwin Park. If nobody's using the help out pavilion, we'll just meet there. If not, I'll be in one of the campsites nearby. Look for antennas on my car, and we'll just kind of hang out. We're going to talk about field day. We're going to talk about a little bit about the history, a little handout on it. Bring an HT that's tuned to the Simplex channel, 146, 540. Bring a hat, bring sunblock, bring water, because yes, it'll be starting to get warm. And then after we talk about field day, kind of talk about the call-in C or CQ and all that stuff. We're going to do an informal exercise on the simplex frequency, kind of break out, maybe get a little further out in the park this year and do that. I'll have one of the logging computers there too, so you can look at the logging. You can actually log some of the contacts that we make out there. It's real simple, but it's good to have that hands-on and a little bit of talking on the radio a little bit before we get out there. If you have any questions, that's a great time to do it. So 9:30, couple of hours worth out there. Yes, sir, Kenny?
I was gonna say, a couple days ago, the trails in their park will close.
Yeah.
Your mic's got that.
Okay, Roger. Yeah. Yeah. It's been so wet lately. Yeah. And Dorba, the Dallas Off-Road Bicycle Association, maintains those trails. I saw they were doing some work out there the other day. So we may have to stay out of the trails, but there's still lots of places to go. Bad thing that I noticed that on the east side of the park, they're building right up to the creek that separates the park from that open land. So a couple of years, there's going to be a lot of houses up there. But this Saturday after breakfast, shoot over to Irwin Park. Felicia may be out there. She may be somewhere else. Who knows? Brand, what's the name of your Foxy Locks? Foxy and Roxy. Who knows where they'll be Saturday? Yep. So it just make it a full day of ham radio fun. The weekend before, we make a weekend full of ham radio fun.
How long are you gonna be out there on Saturday?
Probably a couple hours. So 9:30, 11:30 noon. Yeah. Yeah. The Sign Up Genius, I posted it a couple times. You'll see it a few more times, a bunch more times. You're going to get tired of getting spam from me. I promise I'll stop on June 24th. Okay. Maybe one or two after that. I don't know, but please sign up. Please sign up. That gives us, to look at it and say, okay, we have enough people to do setup. We have enough people to do takedown. Or to fill in those spots, for operating and logging. I'll have a hard copy of it out there at the site, so we'll know who's, if there's a question if somebody's supposed to be operating or not, we'll have that. But many hands make easy work. So, and there's a lot of jobs to be done in a short period of time before we get operating there. Not all of it's putting up antennas. Some of it's under the pavilion. We'll be putting up putting the transceivers up, the network, the computers and all that stuff. So all that's got to get done too before we can put a single radio wave out there. So we need y'all. And again, operators and loggers, please don't ignore the logger part. That is so important. That is really important. It's a great way to learn. All right. Any questions, comments, suggestions for field day? Yes, sir, Doc. All right. I didn't, but they're good to bring. No, there's no power up there at all. Yeah, we will have the generator, the club generator up there. So did you see the happy guy that was just on there? Maybe he's coming up next. But yes, we will have a generator out there, a big generator running. There's usually a couple of other small generators out there, so we will have power. So.
Speaking of generators, I know last year we kind of had to put them away.
Yeah.
Put blockers.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the plan for this year. So I'm going to go back, Doc. You missed it. Who's that happy guy up in the left-hand corner? Yeah, you got his year extra up there last year at the B, didn't you? So, and Alan, how many people tested last year? Do you remember? Just Doc? There we go. 100% success rate. It don't get no better. Right. Dan came out and visited with us. I think that's Dave trying to hide from the camera. Yep. But Larry, Brandon, go ahead.
spent, so this is my fourth field day coming out, I spent 10 field days with a different club. In those 10 years, we used wired outputs, okay? We spent a lot of time, effort, life and limb injuries, risking injury, and no offense to the safety officers, putting up these huge antennas. If you love to operate, you get to operate on an antenna with 9 dBi gain forward. Not only is it doing that, it's blocking the noise that you're getting from the sides, right, of that antenna. Not we all, a lot of us live in HOAs. I know the first year I operated at the club with one of those antennas, I was scheming on how to put it on. You never notice, right? So you're getting really an opportunity to operate with something that most of us probably won't have a chance to experience in our own tracks. It's really amazing pointing that thing somewhere and getting on the air and being heard and hearing them no problem without the noise. So take advantage of the opportunity and get on the air because it's really an incredible experience and the club is really, a lot of trouble to put those antennas up. It was seriously last year, the sun was so intense.
Yeah.
With the metal from the towels got so hot, without gloves, we could have started getting burns on your hands. That's how hot the sun was last year. So make sure to bring gloves, but take the opportunity if you need help operating or need help on the air. There's a bunch of people all around that would be more than happy to help you out.
Yeah, please, if you've got a question, a concern, or hey, show me how to operate, just pick somebody out. Brand's a great one. And I'll be glad to help you. I had fun at Bonham introducing people to FT8. And that was great. And we're going to have that station out here. So if you've never done FT8, even if you think FT8 is like watching paint dry, come look at it and operate a little bit. It may change your mind a little bit, but just get on there. I'm looking forward to CW operators, so that'll be fun to see that and hear that in action. Like you said, whoever made the decision years ago to buy the towers, to get the good antennas, that gave this club an advantage over most clubs that just put a wire up in the tree or do a field expedient type antenna or something like that. With 100 watts going through those big antennas 30, 40 feet up, that gives us a huge advantage that you wouldn't get unless you maybe had an amplifier or linear or something like that out there, which we're not going to get. You can do up to 500 watts, but you suffer loss of points for that. And that's not field day. That's no fun. That's sitting in your shack with your amplifier. So that's right.
9 dBi, 100 watts is 800 watts radiated.
There you go. So it's all good. And like I said, we're going to have that 40-meter antenna. I'm really looking forward when it gets dark and see how that goes and play with that. Again, I asked for any other questions, comments, suggestions. I'm going to throw a doc about extension cords, power strips, ladder. I'm going to throw that out in a few emails here. Again, you're going to get tired of getting emails from me. Don't put me on spam. I'll go away. I promise. But I am really looking forward to field day. I'm looking forward to this Saturday when we get together and just have the informal get together. That's been real successful in the past couple of years. Right after breakfast, go out there with a full belly and have fun. And then next weekend, we're just going to have a great time. All right. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, for those that haven't noticed, Mike does a fantastic job organizing all this. It is really great to have this. Brand, you brought up some good points, and we have not talked about it this year. Usually we do. Just so everybody knows, especially since I know we have new members here, everything. When we're talking about these beams, these are single band, mono band, 3-element beams on 10, 15, and 20 meters. The 15 and 20 meter beams were made by a company called Force 12. We bought these a little over 20 years ago. It was at the time, the best mono band beam money could buy. I still think they're pretty darn good, even after 20 years of being taken up and put down. We put them on top of 30-foot towers, and all of them are rotated with Yaesu, what is it, 800 SD 800 rotators. So you're right, Brian. That's something a lot of folks don't get at home. This is your chance to play with that. See what you think. May make you want to move. I don't know. All right. So I did miss one thing that I promised Robert I would cover, and I didn't do it. So that is, we got name badges up here for anybody who has recently joined or joined a while ago and didn't get a name badge. Robert may have one up here for you, so make sure you check with him before you go home. Let's see here. It's time for new business. Basically, I put this agenda together every month, and it's all the stuff that me and the board think about. What do you guys have? Is there any new business for the club today? I suppose that means that we're doing a good job of listening to you, either that or you're just wanting me to get done. All right, our quick announcements here. We have the MARC Information Net every Sunday, 8 p.m. on the 2-meter repeater. We have the Simplex Net every Monday. That's at 8 p.m. It's on 146.54 plus or minus. If somebody else is already there, the group will offset a little bit to try to get out of the way. Breakfast at IHOP, man, I tell you, I've been a member of a few clubs in my life. This one has been the most consistent at making sure our weekly breakfasts are covered. We average between 20 and 30 people at breakfast. That's a big crowd for something every week. So please come on out at the IHOP just across the street. They take orders at 7:30. People start arriving at about 10 minutes to 7, maybe 15 minutes till, so you can drink, sit and have coffee and everything before the food gets there. Goes pretty well. They do a great job taking care of us there. Sidewalk sale last Saturday of the month. Probably won't happen this month because that's field day. Is there? All right. Well, Saturday after field day, sidewalk sale. Be at the college campus here, Collin College campus here in McKinney. It's in the parking lot in front of the library. Look for people with antennas on their cars standing outside, looking like they're getting ready to riot. I swear I'm hitting the button. Board of Directors meeting this month, June 15th, which is this Saturday. It's at Creekwood United Methodist in Fairview. Fairview, Bill? Right. Okay. Yeah, I thought I had changed that last month. I wanted to make sure. Yeah, Fairview, or sometimes Waze or Google Maps will want you to say Allen. So take your pick. Whichever one gets you there. Feel free to come. There's nothing secret discussed at those board meetings, and if you want to come see how the board is representing you, feel free. We'd love to see you. Okay, if nobody has any further business, can I have a motion to adjourn? Kiri, motion to adjourn. Donald, Kilo Fox 6, November Mike Alpha. Did you get that, Lewis? I thought so. You were looking. Donald, why don't you show him your name tag? Okay, any discussion? No? All in favor? Opposed? All right, guys, have a great week. Looking forward to field day.